The energy in this room is very strong, it's very positive, and I know that we're going to have a very productive morning. Let me thank you now, as I will many times this morning, for each of you taking the time to be here this morning with us. I want to express right now my public appreciation to our board chair, Jean-Marie Boylan, for being here this morning, and to our program speakers, Beverly Edgehill, Gary Gottlieb, Shirley Singleton, Richard Taylor, and Steve Woods. It is indeed an honor to have you here with us. It's my honor, as it is always my honor, to present Bunker Hill Community College's board chair, Jean-Marie Boylan.
Thank you very much, Mary. Good morning, and thanks for being here to join with Bunker Hill Community College in setting our direction for the next 3 years. Bunker Hills Community College's strategic goals and plan literally drive our institution, and very importantly, are closely tied to its spending plan. Thanks to your continuing interest, the dedicated efforts of the faculty and staff, and the vital leadership of President Fifield, Bunker Hill Community College is flourishing. In the fall, our enrollment grew by 20% to more than 11,000 students. Since the year 2000, our enrollment has grown 72%. We are indeed bursting at the seams. Thank you again for being with us today. We appreciate your input, and have a wonderful morning.
It has been and it continues to be an honor for me to lead a college that has been recognized and honored for many achievements over the years. But I have to tell you that I was as surprised as anyone when a recent modest schedule change, one little thing, became a phenomenon that captured the imagination of the entire country. To give you an idea of the coverage that the midnight classes received, let's look now at some excerpts of the television coverage, which spanned local, regional, national, and even Canadian networks about Bunker Hill Community College's midnight classes.
For a few dozen college students in Boston, burning the midnight oil means going to school in the middle of the night. Bunker Hill Community College is the only one in the country offering midnight classes. The courses are in response to skyrocketing enrollment as a result of the economy, and students, coffee cups in hand, have signed up.
Now, speaking of something you probably haven't seen, if I told you that college students were in class getting a lecture in Psychology 101 at 2:15, you'd probably think 2:15 in the afternoon. Well, think again.
A community college in Boston is taking the idea of night classes to the extreme. Students there have the option of taking 2 classes that run from midnight to 2:30 in the morning.
Facing overwhelming student enrollment, Bunker Hill Community College in Boston, Massachusetts is taking an extraordinary step, adding 2 new courses that get started at 11:45 p.m., giving new meaning to the old adage, burning the midnight oil.
So you have to understand, with all of this publicity, I wasn't completely surprised when the speakers that we invited to participate in today's planning session agreed to take part only if the event could simulate a midnight class. They felt that the hours when the city quiets down and most people are sleeping is a magical and creative time, and would inspire them to envision an exciting future for a college that has come up with such a bold idea. Well, and now with Professor Edgehill ready to begin, the students at their desks, I hereby turn the class over to Dr. Beverly Edgehill.
I'm here to make sure that all my students stay awake, so I want to make sure they all have a cup of coffee. There's no excuses in this class. So you know that we're here. I gave you some assignments last week, and I'm hoping that, excuse me, Student Wood, I don't see your notes. Oh, there they are. Okay. Sorry. I want to make sure you're ready. I gave you all an assignment. Look, he's drinking. Tell me if you need more coffee. I gave you all an assignment last week to prepare, and the first question I'd like to ask you to talk about is, from your vantage point and from your professional experience, what are the most important issues facing Greater Boston at the present time?
Thank you for arranging to have the class at this hour. Given what's going on in healthcare, I can't sleep anyway. At least this allows me to have some productive time. So from our vantage point, healthcare is the largest employer in our region and continues to grow as an employer. And yet we're challenged with a variety of key areas of labor need as we see things going forward. And with a flat population growth projected over a period of time, it is likely that it is the citizens of our current communities, immigrant populations, and others who will be our workforce of the future. We need to ease that skills gap intensely, focus on the needs of our high school students to allow them to succeed in the one real pathway that many of them have to higher education, and that is through institutions like Bunker Hill, and to be able to then figure out and be informed and have Bunker Hill and others be informed both by four-year education as well as by the workplace so that they are suited and fit well.
But for us to continue to be on that world stage, we need to invest in our next generation, our bench, our students. And that's why I'm just so proud of the work that Bunker Hill is doing in the area of workforce development, in the area of advanced manufacturing. You know, traditional manufacturing is a very difficult place to be in this economy, in this global economy. But advanced manufacturing is just a tremendous opportunity. In the work that you're doing in the Health and Wellness Center and maintaining green, in being consistent with the mayor's priorities around education, in workforce development around what we're going to look like when we grow up in the 21st century, all the things Bunker Hill's doing to prepare their students to reflect this economy that we're in is just powerful. I happen to have a daughter that goes to school at Bunker Hill. Being a banker, I'm a liberal arts guy. I had no right being a banker. We at Citizens, and I like from a leadership perspective, to put people around me that have that specific, detailed, specialized focus around technology, but I'm also very interested in critical thinking, people that think outside the box. There's a lot of room outside the box.
I took a peek at the technology curriculum at Bunker Hill, and they've done a great job in the area of network specialists. They have a new offering, computer forensics. They have gaming simulation. They have a program for to set you up to transfer to a full degree in technology. But I did a drill down into the two topics that I brought up today, which was mobility and data analytics. And I went down to the curriculum level. I had some help from Edgewater people. And if you think about it, you have a course, I guess it's CIT 118 and 219, and it really looks at principles of security. My suggestion in your curriculum is to extend that security look down into the mobile devices, because data is flowing very easily down into that area.
Bunker Hill must be on a mission to infect, and I repeat, my medical colleague, infect the entire student body with entrepreneurial thinking. There must be a culture shift. Number two, required reading, rich dad, poor dad. Required reading, not optional reading. Dr. Edshow, required reading.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, number three, we must strengthen our relationships with some of the players that are already in the market. Inner city entrepreneurs, Initiative for New Economy, Next Street, all organizations that are working with one range or another of small businesses, largely in urban markets that serve the Bunker Hill stakeholders.
Well, I thank you all, and I'm going to ask everyone to join in thanking you for your comments, and this was extremely...
You guys did a great job. Everybody was good.
And
great panel.
Very interesting and informative discussion, and it's my honor to now announce that you are honorary graduates of Bunker Hill Community College. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Edgehill. And I have the challenge of very quickly summarizing some of the main points that we've heard this morning and asking Chair Boylan to help me do that. And so let me take a shot at this, because this is important information for you as you receive your assignment and your homework from Professor Edgehill when she comes back up in just a second or so. We heard from student Gottlieb talking about employer need, fewer resources, opportunities to find new innovations, but with more accountability. The notion of a skilled workforce, the racial disparities that exist in healthcare, and how the workforce must reflect our communities. We also heard student Gottlieb talk about creating pathways, new healthcare programs, and issues of the skills gap. He did, however, offer an optimistic note that he believes this is starting to move forward and that the immigrant population will be workers of the future, and that Bunker Hill Community College has started to respond to that. For student Woods, he talked about our vibrant nonprofit communities, 30,000 in the Commonwealth, Boston, a desirable and good place to live and work, strength again in our immigrant population, the fact that we are a center and a city of innovation. He stressed that continuing to be on the world stage, we need to develop yet more initiatives. He cited the mayor's initiatives to address racial health disparities and Bunker Hill Community College's program to do that. He talked about the value of critical thinking, and he talked about a class in which his daughter was in where students edited each other's work, a common teaching and learning method at Bunker Hill, and the very powerful teaching and learning environment that can make the difference in a student's life. Student Singleton talked about 125 plus applications available on Boston phones, which was a staggering statistic for me. She talked about the use of data, more important than mere data collection, and spoke specifically about the need for data analysts, mobile healthcare workers, fraud prevention, insurance analysts. And student Taylor talked about entrepreneurship, said that Bunker Hill was well on the way with the Center for Entrepreneurship, and he referred to it as the, quote, fierce urgency of now. He said that we have an abundance of labor, abundance of space, we've got resources and materials to spur entrepreneurship, and that Bunker Hill Community College must be on a mission to infect the entire student body. He suggested that Rich Dad, Poor Dad be required reading for everyone, and that we must strengthen our relationships in the urban markets. I hope you've been taking notes. Okay, Chair Boylan, what would you like to add to this summary?
Well, I'll just hit a little bit on the second question that Professor Edgehill posed about what else can Bunker Hill Community College be doing. Student Gottlieb talked about having the need for the flexibility to provide the appropriate skills. As time marches on, those skills change, and we need to stay current. Student Woods talked about capturing the hearts as well as the minds of the students and the need to support the faculty in their endeavors. Student Taylor talked about the fact that we're training bright students and we need to be flexible in assigning our resources to the right areas, move the resources to the areas in need. And he also talked about the need to protect the outcomes of data, and from the data will come, from technology comes opportunities, and we need to determine how to protect those ideas. And Student Singleton really went through the fast pace of technology and all the changes that are needed in the curriculum to keep us current, and I think pointed out the importance of the business community talking with us all the time about how that world is changing and the changes that our students need in their curriculum in order to be current when they enter the marketplace. So what I heard a lot about is flexibility, which frankly has been a hallmark of community colleges through the years. Student Gottlieb talked about the need for skills training and the flexibility in changing that constantly. Student Woods talked about critical thinking. Student Singleton talked about creative thinking, and Student Taylor talked about collaborative thinking.
Okay, so welcome. And you do have a task. We hope that you were paying attention and taking notes. Of all that you've heard this morning, your task is to choose one major issue facing Greater Boston today, arrive at consensus on one major initiative that the college can leverage to contribute to the growth and success of Boston.